So that's telling me that's 18 carat, 75% pure gold.
Dan Hatfield's first customer of the day, a man having to sell 2 family bracelets to help pay for his bills.
3,100. I'll just count this for you now. 3, 20, 40, 60, 80, 20.
They say cash is king during hard times, and these times are as hard as they come.
Thank you very much.
And that's going on the gas and electric.
Gas, electric, I'm afraid.
My grandfather was a pawnbroker and my mum was a pawnbroker as well, so it's in the family.
And yet, in all those years, Mr. Hatfield says, his pawnbrokers has never been as busy.
Pawnbrokers have their fingers on the nation's financial pulse. We know what's happening before the news and the media pick it up, because we see day to day people struggling before we kind of get either the really wealthy that might need a bridging loan very quickly because a deal's not come through, or we would have working class clients. Now we're seeing the middle class who normally would be able to cope day to day. They're using us to pay their bills.
Was it an engagement ring?
It is.
Absolutely lovely.
Alison Mainwell's husband worked in finance but has just been made redundant. So she's come in to find out how much she'd get if she pawned her engagement ring.
Right. If we loaned you £1,500, the interest would be 6%. Okay. So that would be £90 on top each month.
Mrs. Mainwell would have up to 7 months to buy back the ring. The total interest would be £630.
£60 a month on top of that. It's quite a bit, isn't it?
The pawnbrokers is on the edge of Sheffield city centre. The local council recently announced it'll be setting up warm banks here to help people this winter. Over a cup of tea, Mrs. Mainwell told me why she was thinking of pawning her engagement ring.
How much are your bills going up by?
Well, from £120 a month to £200 for my gas, water rates, council tax, everything's just going up and up and up, but you're not getting any more
Coming
in.
It's quite sad, isn't it? Because that's your engagement ring.
Yeah, it is sad. I feel emotional. Might have a little cry when I get home because 20 years, you know.
As we talked, the television played images of the procession to move the Queen's coffin in London.
You're seeing how much is going on something like that to what everybody else is going through. Like rubbing it in kind of thing, that they've got all that money for funerals and stuff, and everybody's on breadline at the moment.
Food inflation is still at its highest for 14 years, and many families are struggling. We've spoken to a number of people who told us that they're resorting to pawnbrokers as a way of managing their monthly cash flow.
Research suggests that pawnbroking has become an essential source of credit for people who have no alternative way to borrow money.
But pawnbrokers have a bit of a bad reputation because of the interest rates that you charge. What do you say to that?
I don't think pawnbrokers do have a bad reputation. I think gone are the days of, Charles Dickens. We're not here to fleece anybody. We're regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority. Sometimes our clients don't have good credit ratings, so they come to us because the alternatives, such as loan sharks, well, they don't worth thinking about really.
As more and more people struggle to access traditional forms of credit, pawnbrokers say they're providing an essential service to local communities, a service that has never been more in demand.